and it's a classical case of giving a dog a bad name and hanging it, and throwing the baby away with the bad water. It's a classical case of it. I don't think that we need to disband the office.
That's it.
The office has its needs. Indeed, I am happy that the office is getting a kind of a mention in the report of the Constitution Review Committee. What I'm not happy about with the committee, the committee's work, is that it should have clearly mentioned, well, I've not read in detail, is the excerpts based on what we have, that maybe there's a clear mention of the office, but my understanding from the little I have read around it from the report is that it is not a clear mention of the office of the special prosecutor. It is the advocacy for the creation of an office like...
To do what the OSP does.
What the OSP is doing.
Okay.
I think we should have expressly stated the office of the special prosecutor as a constitutional body, constitutionally define its mandate, differentiate it from Shraj and Sraj. I always struggle with that one. And the Attorney General's Department. These three bodies should be clearly defined in terms of mandates, so that we will not have some politicians stand up on the floor of the House and say they want the office of the special prosecutor scrapped, when we all know that in this country you cannot have the Attorney General's Department investigate and prosecute politicians, especially offending politicians from the governing party. We can't have the Attorney General deal with them. We all understand why. We cannot pretend
like that.
It is not a conversation we can pretend.
But if we can understand why the AG cannot, shouldn't we be able to understand why the OSP faces that level of criticism?
Which takes me...
Criticism particularly from the kind of job it is supposed to do. You are supposed to fight a particular crime. That crime usually is committed by a particular group of people. Those groups of people are the ones criticizing you. Should we not understand it?
Which takes me to the second leg of that OSP conversation, to remove or not to remove SP Ejabeng.
Yes.
That I am careful when I'm listening to the analysis, who I'm listening to or reading from, the exposure of the person and knowledge of the person, and the interests of the person. So if I'm listening to Majority Leader, for instance, I know the Majority Leader's own personal issues with the office, not Kisi Ejabeng, the office. At the time, it was Martin Amidu. But even that, we can say that it wasn't Martin Amidu, it was the office. So we know what his issues are. Again, to be fair to the Majority Leader, he had always had his stand on the matter even before his brush with Martin Amidu and the office. So it would be unfair to him to say, because of what he went through, that is the reason he attempted moving.
He now dislikes the office.
The office.
Okay.
It would be unfair to him to say that.
True.
But the point I'm making is that if I am listening to a civil society person on whether we should scrap the office or sack SP Ejabeng, my openness to the person will be different.
It carries different weight
For me than listening to a politician. You get it?
Yeah.
So again, I said the problems we had with the SP, with Kisi Ejabeng, was fairly and squarely bordered on Ken Ofori-Atta. So if we gave SP Ejabeng the opportunity to deal with this Ken Ofori-Atta matter professionally, ethically, following all the standards and procedures, and he discharges himself, even if he eventually loses the court battle, would we still say he should leave? Or because he failed us in, what do you call that one? Preventing the escape of Ken Ofori-Atta from the jurisdiction.
The man says escape.
That is the way they have been.
Yes,
it's not me.
Left the jurisdiction.
He left.
Yes, he left.
Oh, okay. That is what they've been saying.
Okay.
And they've been using words like escape, flight, you say somebody flee. Flee is not a good word.
The energy minister now, while in parliament, he had some nice words to describe Ofori-Atta. He said, Otilo. Otilo means what? Odenohwa Kamura. He said, Odenohwa Kamura. Otilo. And then he said some other language. I'll look for that word for you. But make your point.
So, the problems that people generally have with SP Ejabeng are to the effect that, number one, he did not do enough to stop Ken Ofori-Atta from leaving the jurisdiction. He started crying after the horse had had bolted. So what should we do again? Number two, that he lied about the extradition issue at the time that he told the country that they had started processes. Apparently nothing had been started until Deputy Attorney General came. Somebody said, Justice Remsaitu, why will you run your mouth like that? You only came to choke the man. So until the Deputy Attorney General came telling us that the processes had actually not even been started, we had all believed. Indeed, the special prosecutor had given us timelines within which Ken Ofori-Atta was to be back in the jurisdiction. That didn't happen. As for Ken Ofori-Atta fighting the extradition and all of that, there's nothing wrong with it. It is well within the right of the man to fight whatever process you throw at him. So that is not a problem, and I don't see how that should even generate talk.
Sisters, let me hold your horses there and then listen to this.
The OSC has declared Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta as a fugitive. As a fugitive. Mr. Speaker, in our local language, fugitive, in our local language, it means that Wadenwa Kamura. Wadenwa Kamura. Or, to put it simply, Wajibam. Or in the Hausa language, Otilo. Or to put it in a more simpler way, Yagudu. It's as simple as that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we should not be afraid of accountability. As public
away, VIP, away.
3FM Sunrise.
So, Sixtus, that was. I mean, this was just by the way back.
For the record and on the record, I don't speak Chi.
The way he did his I don't know what Kamura. I don't know what Kamura. I said, Wajibam. Otilo. What's the meaning of Yagudu? That is in Hausa. But continue.
I don't speak Hausa either.
I'm telling you.
So yes, obviously, from Amako Fiboa's submission, you see that
this is Jinapo.
Oh, that was Jinapo.
Yes, the energy minister.
Oh, okay. So the voice. Okay. So that sums up our problem with the special prosecutor and the office of the special prosecutor. This is why some people agitate for his removal.
I see it from these angles. Apart from the Ken Ofori-Atta back and forth, there's also the concern that the concern about bail conditions. When Paul Admotre was arrested or detained by the OSP with some other people, the conversation came up that the OSP may be using, or state institutions expected to fight crime may be using bail as some form of punishment. They set the bail conditions extremely high, that the people are not able to immediately provide or fulfill, so they keep them there longer. That's one of the thing. And then the other one that people did not really appreciate is how the man was, well, the office was very vocal all the time. And according to them, they are mandated to update the public.
Yes.
But people don't understand.
Well, which is another thing I don't have a problem with. I don't know why you think that the OSP should not hold press conferences, for instance.
They say it
is in the law.
Exactly, I get that.
It is in the OSP law.
I get that. But they say it in context that let your words
be measured,
match your action.
Yes. No, I have also even made the point here that the expectations, you see, once you are pumping up hope for people, you are communicating to people, let the expectations be measured. You can't come and tell us that by October Ken Ofori-Atta will be in the jurisdiction to be tried, when in actual fact you have not even started the processes.
So that
which is a cause of the anger.
Yes, that's one of the major things.
So measured expectation, but to say that they should not be doing press conferences and releases and all of those things, that one, it is also it's not for me. I think that the tone of the messages should be watched.
Okay.
And I'm saying this purely as a communications person.
Fair enough.
The tone of the press conferences, the tone of the X spaces. And the other day I spoke here about how the director of communication and research, Sami Dako, engaged. He was on X spaces, and I wasn't impressed because of the way he was responding to people. As a communications person, I don't think he was handling issues right. I don't think so. But again, it is not to say they should not have those engagements. As for the engagements, they must have them.
Because the law says they should.
Because the law says they must do.
So if out of 10 OSP...
Ego hard. To be fair to them, you know, they also released some of their achievements.
Oh yes, they've done remarkable work, a lot.
So if you
just that the high profile cases had a lot of expectations.
And the high profile cases, just Ken Ofori-Atta that is getting a lot of
high profile cases. I mean, people with name.
No, I know, and I'm saying that
Ken Ofori-Atta
is the only one that is giving them headache.
GRA, so GRA is still Ken Ofori-Atta. Airport Company Limited, Paul Admotre, for instance. Yes.
That one really was, there was nothing about it. The issue there was the bill, the insistence on him giving, what do you call it, a property in his name, landed property in his name.
And how sometimes the lawyers of the detained or the accused people or the suspects, how for a few hours they do not know the whereabouts of their clients, according to them. A lot of them
come in. It's a general problem with all the security agencies. There was a time in this country, if they said national security picked up your father, you have to go to the church first to pray, because you would not know where.
Okay.
You roam around this Accra, you go to this office, they will say no. You go to the other office, they will say no. As if it is, we are in some military, this one that, yeah, they are playing hide and seek with you and all of that.
Over 10 OSP.
Let me recheck. I will leave this one for our January review.
Okay. Parliament
too, I will leave it for. As for the ratings, let me leave it for our January review. Okay. Because we are just having this conversation of,
fair enough.
Because we need to consider a holistic picture before we give the ratings.
Let's move to the executive now, the ministries. Any minister stood out for you? Not ministry, any minister.
Minister.
Yes. Stood out, and I don't mean for only good reasons or bad reasons. You can say whichever minister you want to mention, and then good or bad reasons. There's a name on your mind, Sam George. Talk about him.
No, Sam George is definitely one.
Sam George, good, bad reasons.
Oh, I like the thing he tried doing with DSTV.
He tried doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I like the intention. I'm happy he attempted. We probably ended up not getting exactly what we wanted, but
we got
I'm
something that
happy.
looks like it.
Say again.
But we got something that looks like
it. Yes, and I'm happy with the action.
Okay.
He showed multinationals the force of the people. And I think it is hypocrisy, pure hypocrisy, to try to crucify him. Because if the thing has succeeded, you would have been the direct beneficiary of it. As for some of us, we long signed off. You know, I mean, gone away. I was just watching some videos. They say English hard, oh. So I like the thing he tried doing with DSTV.
Okay.
The also the thing with data, Independence Day, not
holidays.
Holidays.
Yeah, some holidays.
All holidays actually. I think on all national holidays you get some data from the telcos. Yes, on all national holidays. That also.
And then he also reviewed the data pricing values you get.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, there's the reality tool that it will finish when you blink.
Yes, that is also another thing. Of course, the businessman will always find a way around it.
Yes, of course.
So it's always a give and take. So I think it's been a very good year for Sam George, and the Ministry of Communications. I think it's been a good year for him. As for his presence on social media, he enjoys it. It's obvious that he enjoys it.
Sisters, don't go away yet. Let's invite you to the conversations. Professor Smart Sapon and then Dr. Jonathan Asante-Okyere. Dr. Asante-Okyere is a political analyst to throw more light on the governance nature of 2025. He's also the executive director of the Africa Institute of Strategic Studies. Doc, thank you for joining us. Good morning to you. Prof, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Let me start with you, Dr. Okyere. 2025, in terms of governance, how would you rate the governance ability of the NDC government?
All right. Thank you, Crosby. Let me say good morning to you and to my colleague out there. When you are supposed to assess a government, you will have to assess the performance of a government based upon the indicators previously and then indicators currently. That is the only means by which you'll be able to do the proper, and a fair, dispassionate assessment. If we look at governance, I think that they have done pretty well. We do not have unnecessary scandals as it engulfed the previous government. Their fight against corruption has been ongoing, although with some kind of a drama sometimes, but all to a particular purpose, and that is to get those who have had an unfortunate incident of tampering with the state resources and so on and so forth to account for that. And that apart, in terms of governance, if you look at the period where people did demonstration in the past, we had young boys and girls who went on demonstration in a previous government on the score of galamsey, and we know what happened to them. They were imprisoned for fighting for a good cause for all of us. They were imprisoned. In the same manner, if you look at what the current government, the experience with the police have been, I appreciate the fact that, it was an incident-free demonstrations here and there. So it's as if, those who are part of the machinery of government have become a bit more professional. Probably the leader, as the IGP, is an influence for that matter. Now, if you, as part of governance, you also have to look at the economy. The economic indicators as received from the previous government in areas of, I've always said that every government has about 4 policies Now, these four policies affect the life of every Ghanaian, wherever you find yourself. And they have their trickling-down effect. One is inflation. And once inflation is that high, everybody will feel the pinch of high inflation. So having been able to move the inflation indicator from 23 point something to now a little over 6%, that is incredible within a year. Apart from that, if you look at how they've been able to stabilize the cedi against major currencies, that is equally incredible. And you could see the effect of that in the market. As, people were struggling here and there, you could see that there has been a dramatic change from the previous to the current, where you saw people thronging to the various markets and I think TV3, other Joy News, and all of these media houses had to do that, to get that information. Now, the other indicator is the interest rate. You could see how Bank of Ghana had reduced their policy rate, which has affected interest at the commercial banks. And that in itself will place more resources in the hands of businesses to be able to borrow at lower rates and then be able to expand their businesses and employ more. So we'll have to see a correlation in terms of unemployment with that analysis that I have done. Because Ghana Statistical Service made us know that the unemployment rate had reduced from 14 point something to 13, but it's still very high. So if this policy is anything to go by, we should see a positive correlation in that. Then the debt to GDP, they are ending the year by 49%. And then I think they inherited about, is it 59 or 69, one of the two, from the previous government. And they are ending the year outperforming that which, the IMF had indicated. They're ending the year 49%. Do you know the implication of that, Crosby? The implication is that, obviously, it means there will be a fiscal space of about 51%. And that in itself will be able to allow government to do infrastructure development. So you see, when they are talking about big push, they seem to know exactly what their feet is on. And so these are the four main listings. But of course, the effect of the stability of the cedi, you've seen the effect in petroleum pricing, right? We've seen reduction of prices for a long, it is very unimaginable that we'll be seeing things of that nature. So in all, it is the financial prudence of the current government that has really helped. Of course, the IMF is there as the big brother. But the financial prudence on the part of the president and his team is what has done the magic. Finally, I think as an economic indicator, you can look at agric. You see, the agric sector is performing, I don't know, the performance is just mind-boggling. To the fact that we are seeing grass here and there in rice production, corn production, various systems. And even my colleague, Professor Smatsapon, did some survey recently in which, he ranked the various ministers. And I think that the Greek minister came on top. Because I've always said that when you feed, when a human being feeds, he doesn't speak. Right? He doesn't complain. Have you seen anybody with food in his mouth complaining? No.
I see.
So it is to the effect that our late first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, is reported to have said some time ago that, I think that was after his overthrow, that if he knew that it was food that Ghanaians wanted, he would have even piped milk into the homes of everyone. So it means that once we had that food inflation that very high in the previous government, it was so biting.
So
food had become very expensive in this country.
Doc,
so if you have food inflation of around, is now a single digit. Food inflation is now a single digit under the current minister. Then it means that virtually all the sectors are doing very well. And of course, the third quarter, according to statistical services, that the third quarter was spearheaded by agric.
Right. Doc, thank you. But stay on the line for me. Let me invite Professor Smartsapon. Prof, thank you for holding on. These achievements that Dr. Ocho is talking about should be felt by the citizens, and the citizens should have an idea, an opinion, or a perception about 2025. You are a researcher. Talk to us about your findings in terms of the perspectives of Ghanaians about 2025. In terms of governance.
The call has been put on hold.
Right. Crosby, good morning, if you can hear me.
I can hear you, Prof. Good morning.
All right. To my friend and brother, Dr. Ochiri, good morning, and good morning to our cherished listeners who are doing this program with us this morning. So it's important that we reflect on the year and sometimes do comparative assessment of the previous year and this year with one motive to create a better tomorrow that we all want. So I did the Citizens Perception Survey as you referred to and Dr. Ochi rightly referred to. The general impression is that in terms of cost of living, and I had some of the media, print media capture it the way the report went. In fact, with the exception of 3% of our citizens who says that nothing has changed much, it remains the same, 3%, and 28.2% who says that things are high and very high, 68.8%, close to 70% of Ghanaians are saying that the cost of living in 2025 compared to 2024 has been moderate to low. So we have moderate to low 68.8%, remains the same 3%, and then high to very high 28.2%. Sometimes you need to go some little bit into the data to see who is saying what. And interestingly, and as expected, 82.8% of NDC members are saying it is from moderate to low, whilst we have 45% of NPP saying cost of living is high to very high. That is to interest you on the political dynamics. But averagely, 68.8% of Ghanaians, and when you check the data, you see that teachers, 70.4% of teachers say it is from moderate to low as compared to 2024. Security personnel, 33.9%. Ordinary food vendors, 70.7%. Nurses 72.6, other traders 68.2. So the average conclusion we can draw in terms of cost of living is that from the citizens who are the eventual beneficiaries of the performance that we do at the government level, they say that comparatively that is at a moderate to low state in 2025 as compared to 2024. And for me, this will settle the debate. We don't have to rely on the NDC who says 82 and the MPP who says 45. The citizens are saying that it is from moderate to low, and it is up to hoping close to 70% of the citizens. Okay.
In your report, there's also the mention about sector ministers and how they performed, because these indicators you're talking about, they were spearheaded by individuals heading various sectors that have agencies under them, that have subordinates and all of that.
Right.
How do these ministers perform? Key ministries that worked towards achieving the success, how did they perform? And then which ministry did not do well at all, and why? What reasons are Ghanaians giving?
Right. So overall, I think it is year one.
Okay.
And that this report should only set the platform for more room for improvement, as the teachers will tell you. So we didn't exhaust all the agencies and their individual contributions to the ministry's performance.
Okay.
We assess the ministry, and God willing, next year we'll be zooming in on the agencies that work under the ministry, so that their contributions to the overall performance would also be known, and the ministers responsible will put an extra eye on them and make sure that all those agencies are up and doing. But the overall picture is that Ghanaians feel that the agric minister should be given a special hamper. In fact, I would go for let's say, the top 3 or the top 4, or if you like, the top 5.
Let's do the top 5 and then the last 5.
Right. So the top 5, we have the Great Minister scoring 20 points, 3 points out of 100 to become the overall best minister 2025.
Okay.
20.2%. We have the Finance Minister, Dr. Kessel Atufo, scoring 19.5. So the difference between the Agric Minister and the Finance Minister is like 0.3.
Okay.
And that for me tells a very close, I don't know whether they work together or maybe individually, but come together. Ghanaians see the two of them as the two most important ministries that have pushed government performance to the level we are discussing.
And Prof, these numbers are over 100?
Yes, over 100.
Spread across 4 years or just the first year?
Just the first year.
I see.
This is 2025 ranking.
Okay, so the Agric Minister, according to the survey, scored 20.2 out of 100.
Yes.
Is that not a little low?
No, so the 100 is distributed across 25 ministries that were assessed.
Great, fair enough.
So if they take all, somebody will tell you, if I tell you all now, what will I tell you tomorrow? So if the two ministers take all, then some of them wouldn't get some.
Makes sense.
Yes. So, but I mean, it is a huge percentage.
Of course.
Take out of 100. So what it means is that the two of them alone is taking over 40% out of 100.
Okay.
Add the Education Minister, who places third with 12.4, the Energy Minister, who places fourth with 10.2, and the Interior Minister, who places fifth with 6.0. The top 5 of them are already taking almost all the. So you would have about this is 40, 50, 60, 70. So almost 70% of the marks are gone when you rate the top 5.
Okay.
And then the last 5, as you requested. And you see, let me make this caveat. With the exception of the Housing and Water Resource Ministry, I think the remaining 4, which forms part of the last 5, their work is somehow not so much known to the public, or perhaps doesn't require that they interact with citizens often. So we have the Minister of State in charge of communication, my brother, the MP for Abrasebuku Amankese,
Felix.
Honorable Kwachi Fosu.
Right.
Then we have the Minister for Housing and Water Resources. My system is blurred. I can't see the name well, but I'll check the name for you now.
Kenneth Gilbert J.
Water Resources is last but 3. Then we have Seidu, Minister for Energy. Let me refer to them here more clearer. All right, so let me call out the last 4 again. So Minister for Communications at the Presidency, Honorable Felix Kwachifosu, Minister of State for Government Communications. All right, so we have then Honorable Kenneth Gilbert Ejay, Minister for West Housing and Water Resources. Then we have Honorable Esifu Seidu, Minister of State in charge of Climate Change and Sustainability.
Okay.
We have Honorable Emmanuel Kwejo Edekum, Minister of State for Special Initiatives. And the last is Honorable Lydia Lamisi Akamvariba, Minister of State for Public Sector Reform. Let me say that generally from where I sit, where the shock came was, but not too much of a shock, was the minister in charge of Works, Housing, and then Water Resources, Honorable Kenneth Gilbert Ejay.
Right.
Sincerely speaking, I don't know for you, Crosby, and where you sit, or my brother Ochi. Sincerely speaking, I think that ministry has gone too silent for my liking in 2025.
Okay.
Yes, so I don't know from where you sit with the opportunity you have and the documents that passes through and the news you hear every day. It appears that I agree with the citizens that ministry was extremely silent in 2023. They should 2025. They should try and up the game so that together we cannot move the nation forward the way we want it. But again, congratulations to the top 5, especially if you increase it to the top 10, you realize that they are all doing their best. Top 15, they are all doing their best. In fact, overall, this is year 1. Next year, God willing, we would expand it to include the agencies that work under them, so that when we say Ministry A is doing well, which are the agencies under it that is making the overall picture look good. If you say Ministry B is not doing well, which are the agencies doing well under that circumstance, and those who are pulling the overall picture down, so that together the citizens can join government to do what we all need to do for Mother Ghana.
Okay, Prof, thank you. Let me bring into the conversation finally. Dr. Ocho, are you still with me?
Yeah, of course, I'm here.
So, Doc, let's do this briefly. The performances of the ministries, particularly the last 5, according to the survey that Professor Smart Sapon referred to, does any of them come to you as a surprise?
In actual fact, you see, their presence in the media is close to a zero. I've asked myself, this climate thing, of course, it is something that is in vogue, right? And so some time ago, I told myself that probably Ghana wants to take advantage of what is in vogue and make some money for the country in terms of the distraction, because it is an important thing. We need to look into our climate. But his media presence is close to a zero. Public sector reform, even the names, some of the names don't come to mind readily. You understand? And so what public sector reforms are we seeing? I mean, it is close to nothing. So probably it is the more reason why, they have scored very low. But that what surprises me is Ofosu Ampofu, is it Kwasi Ofosu? I think that
Felix.
I am tempted to disagree as far as Kwasi Ofosu is concerned. In terms, if it is the media that you are using as their presence in the media is what you are using as the yardstick, then obviously you cannot take him out. I mean, his presence, government accountability series is forever there. Obviously, when controversial issues come out, is there to defend government and speak to government position and so on and so forth. Perhaps because there's nothing to measure, his functions with. That is probably why you fall within that category.
I see.
Or maybe his communication style, has not sat well with the audience or the ordinary Ghanaian. That which I think, if that is the case, then I will still disagree. I think that is a fantastic chap. He knows his stuff. Is a well-researched guy. You understand? And so that is the only surprise element. Housing, I don't have any qualms about that. But I think that unless the other ministers, the 1 to 5 that he spoke about, have performed creditably well, the government communication machinery, if they were making certain errors, then you put him there, I will agree. But if his communication really sits well with the people of the country, then I don't see why he should be, part of the last 4 or the last 5.
Doc, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ochre. I'm grateful for your time. Dr. Asante Ochre speaking with us there, sharing his opinions on happenings or the performances of some ministries in 2025.
Best in the morning.
Let me invite Sixtus Don Ulo into the conversation as we wrap up. Sixtus, let's briefly talk about the performance of the various ministries like we were doing before we started the conversation. And I'll ask you at random. If we're starting with a ministry like transport, how do you think they performed in 2025?
Transport. I'm not happy with transport. And again, it's something I have said here before. I think that the transport ministry is not helping us deal with the misbehavior of the private operators. Somebody has said we should relook at the mandate of the transport ministry. But I don't think that that ministry is dealing well with the misbehavior of private transport operators. They're church people, in short. And they are causing a lot of headache.
So we don't have a lot of time. Over 10?
No, for now, okay, let me save us all the time. I wouldn't be able to do the over 10 thing now.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's I wouldn't be fair if I do that today.
The health minister was also in the news a number of times this year.
He started off very active, sometimes to the anger of people.
Active in the wrong way.
Yes, some people said he thought he was still in opposition.
He was still a ranking member.
He was still a ranking member. But to be fair to him, I expected that if you were in opposition and you were showing a certain level of energy, now that you are in power, importantly, you are the office holder, we should see more action from you. So yes, there may be excesses, but I don't think that he has misconducted himself. I think he's carried himself well through the year. This fight that I'm trying to recollect, Tamale Teaching Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a fight.
Yes.
The doctors were fighting him over his engagement there. I followed that. I have friends.
Nurses are still at home. A lot of them, thousands of them, they're still at home.
Unemployed?
Yes, unemployed.
When have they not been at home? It's not, you don't. Nurses and teachers, that problem is not a problem that is solved in 1 year.
Well, fair, true.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be fair to judge.
They'll still be unhappy.
Haruna Idrisu or Akando based on that.
Let's talk about Kwame Agboja, the Minister for Roads and Highways.
We've been very active. We saw that he tried dealing with the axle load issues. He's gone around trying to check.
Is your activeness based on impact or presence?
Both. Both.
It sounds more like presence for you.
No, both. Well, from the presence, we get to know what the impacts would be.
Okay.
And because I'm in the space, I get to know what the issues you are dealing with are, whether they're even relevant to us in the first place. Yes, we've always had problems with the roads. These long distance trucks, heavy duty trucks that are on the road, they shouldn't be there with the too much weight that they shouldn't be carrying.
Yeah, and all of that. I was
that's still an ongoing conversation.
Yes, anyways. I was impressed with this handling of contractors, the auditing of the salaries or the amounts owed them and those they have to pay and all of that.
So you see, that is not just presence, that is impact.
Lands Ministry.
Lands Ministry. Who is the minister?
Oh, the Honorable Emmanuel
Kofi Amaboa. Lands and Natural Resources. Honestly, I haven't paid attention to him because the fight against Galamsey, honestly, I don't think we are seeing the ministry. I'm not sure.
Oh, all the work of NIMOS.
Is NIMOS under the ministry? It's not under the presidency? I don't know. I don't know.
We'll have to check that.
So again, in order not to be unfair.
But I mean, NIMOS is fighting Galamsey. Galamsey is under the ministry, so I can draw the link.
No. Whose initiative is NIMOS? Is it the ministry or the presidency? And remember that NIMOS was supposed to be the centralized coordination and coordinated body. Do you get it?
I understand.
So, prior to NIMOS, there were splinter groups. Everybody will get up and say they are doing Galamsey fight.
So it is, now I know it is under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources.
It's under the ministry. Yes. So we give the ministry its flowers. We give the minister
its handling of the
and we give
agreement.
The deputy too. The deputy minister is our friend.
Yes, I mean the minister is also our friend. The spokesperson is our friend. Everybody is our friend. Briefly, foreign affairs.
Okay, foreign affairs. Passport. You see, some of the ministries, you see the way we just mentioned them. In fact, let's clap for our black one. Let's clap for our black one. New passport centers, application centers opened. You have cost of passport reduced. You have it also in the duration. Yes, backlog cleared. I mean, that's alone.
Yeah, it's good news. Attorney General.
Can I I talk about energy?
Attorney General, Abian says, whoa.
Yes, Attorney General, media presence, 100 over 100.
Okay.
Impact, again, that's a complication.
Something
because,
which is there. Okay.
Because cases are not heard and won or lost overnight.
I understand.
It's a whole long process.
Youth development and empowerment, that's a new combination ministry.
I honestly don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
George Operado.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Okay. I honestly don't know what the ministry is doing. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
The agency under the ministry, the National Youth Authority.
Yes, NSA.
I know that the National Youth Authority has... there were these engagements they had.
FM
NYA, okay.
NYA, yes. And there were these engagements. Osman. I'm sorry, I've forgotten. But the ministry itself.
NSA is also under them.
NSA is which one? Sports Authority.
National Service.
Sports. National Service is under Youth Ministry. Okay. So I'm looking at National Service because of the weight of National Service. NYA, I look at it directly under Pablo. NSA, I'm trying to look at it separately because of the nature of its work.
Then you add YEA to it now.
YEA.
Youth Employment
That one, honestly, I don't know what they have been up to. I don't know what they have been up to.
Okay, we understand that. A few more. Success Energy. Briefly.
Been good. Energy been. It was the first ministry to be hit with a problem.
Yes.
So, in fact, again, that's the second minister we'll clap for.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, JJ, that's the second minister we'll clap for. Oh, but sports, I'll clap for him.
Otoado.
The Honorable Kofi Adams. I beg you. Otoado must not continue.
That's our package.
No, but sports, he also did something decisive with the budget of the Black Stars.
Yes.
He did. That was a decisive action that the sports minister took on the budget of the Black Stars. That budget has been an albatross around all of us.
Trade and industry.
Who?
Elizabeth Ofoswajari.
Honestly, I don't know.
Labor, jobs, employment. Rashid Pelpo.
Yes, we've had a number of fights.
Public sector reforms.
And the ministry has stood out. It has handled the agitations properly and well.
That's our package for you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
And remember, this was just a touch and go. We'll do an expansive and extensive discussion. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Noble Crosby and 6 is Don